Honey, y'all know what the gag is, right? Honey, the gag is it ain't never the straight man exposing the DL man. Y'all notice that? The straight man be minding their business, honey. Never. It's always us. The community, the girls, the one who know the signs because we live the signs, right? Amen on that. Let me tell y'all, we the ones holding the damn receipts. We the one got the tapes, we got the screenshots, and the remember when you said, honey, why everybody else pretending they don't see it. Honey, let me tell y'all the tea that's in this video, girl. Y'all gotta watch this video. You know we got another reaction, right? Right, okay? Look, and Will Smith, baby. The gays have been trying to tell y'all for years, honey, but y'all wanted to believe the Fresh Prince. Woo, honey, if I would have knew back then, I would have rode the train with Will Smith with his fine self, okay? Honey, him and Duane Martin could have me, girl, okay? Shoot, only if I knew back then, girl. All these gay men, honey, all the zest, ooh, I would have had a time. God damn. That's why, honey, now that we know what we know, okay, honey, we can have any man we want. Hello. They all on go, okay? Especially the one they say they would never and they don't. Girl, they on go too. But let me get back to Will Smith, y'all. Y'all wanted to believe that perfect ass marriage. Just like in real life, all this perfect marriage, fraud. Especially in the church. Ask me how I know, honey. Okay, honey, you know. Look, y'all wanted to believe Jada was just a little entanglement, right? No, the whole house was entangled, honey. The whole house was a mess. Ooh, and let's not forget about Austina, honey, with his fine ass. When I tell you the most finest niggas be the zesty, okay? Ask me how I know, honey. I was fine back in my day too, okay? Let me tell y'all. Now look, I'm not here to shame nobody for what they do in a bedroom because you know I am pro-LGBT. I'm pro-LGBT. I don't care what you laying up with. I don't care who you loving, but when you using your power, your money, your industry clout to pass around some young boys like their appetizers at Diddy party, we got a damn problem, okay? We got big problems. And the gag is, honey, Will was mentoring these boys. Yeah, honey, Uncle Will. I wish his ass would have mentored me, honey, okay? Look, I'm here to guide you. Let me show you the ropes, baby. Them ropes and handcuffs on them. Them ropes was tied. Honey, Charlie Mack passing. What's that dude name? Woo, I forgot. The one from Lee Daniels show. I forgot Hakeem, girl. I forgot his real name, but we're going to say Hakeem. Hakeem off like a little gift bag. Yeah, girl. Diddy in the corner like he the most host with the most. And now I wouldn't want no Diddy. Y'all can pass. I'm going to keep, y'all women, y'all can keep Diddy. But give me Will, okay? And Will in the dressing room bent over a couch while Duane Martin just standing up. Ooh! Take that. Okay. Honey, I would have loved me some Duane Martin too. I always had a crush on his ass. Only if I knew with them big soup lips. Oh, girl. Oh my God. Where they at? They old now though. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no Will Smith, Duane. They too old. You know what I'm saying? 30s is the right, it's the right age right there. Them 30s. After that, girl, throw them away. Look, taking them, killing them. Okay, that's the word they use, okay? Ooh, killed that punani, okay? And look, I don't mean no metaphor. I mean the kind of murking where you walk in and you see something your eyes can't unsee. Bilal saw it, Bilal lived it, and now he out here telling the whole world what he saw because the guilt ate him alive. But here's what gets me. Here's what really, really get me. Will had the nerve to say it was consensual. Yeah. He asked me to stop, but I finished first. Nigga, what? When somebody say stop, you stop, period. Unless you're me. If I say stop, nigga, you better keep going down. Okay, what I'm saying? You got to know who's saying stop or whatever. You know what I mean? But for women and everybody else, it's non-negotiation. But for me in the bedroom, I have told niggas plenty of times stop, but I didn't want his ass to stop. Okay, look, that's not a let me wrap up real quick, especially when you're dealing with women. If a woman says stop, you stop. That's an assault. You know what I'm saying? That's, taking it. You know what I mean? But you sitting there admitting it like it's a minor detail. Well, shit, they all men. Hell, look, I don't get in men on men business. Men got to take care of themselves. Now, if this was a female involved, I understand a female can never compete with a man, but a man on man, I think these are men business, men issues. Y'all duke it up, fight it out. That's what I say. Yeah, girl. If a man got issue with another man, fight it out, and who the best one win, and I'm out. But Jada knew. That's what they saying. They say Jada knows. She's been knowing since Sheree walked in on him with Benny, girl. She been knowing since the Star Magazine story in 2012. She been knowing since the male dancers came back crying to Tisha, girl. She been knowing, okay? She been knowing, honey. I tell you, Jada is one of the greatest things. If DL men out there, let me tell y'all, it's a lot of girls like Jada that keep your secret. You better marry their ass. But I don't know what's going on. Why do they expose themselves? I don't get it. But girl, you got to check out this video because it's a lot of tea that's going on in this video. So make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe and check this out. Bam.
How I was able to see the tapes. This is why she think I saw them. And I saw some things that were unreal. And I saw celebrities on the tape. Door to Duane's dressing room, and that's when I see Duane. There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Duane was standing up, killing him, murder.
This is Will Smith's.
I don't know if Will Smith has surgery on his or what, but that mother.
Career artist, I have a lot of things to lose.
He in the corner screaming, balled up, right? Like I could feel his pain, like he had been raped, like he had been forced to do something.
Will Smith is finally opening up about his rumored gay affair with Bryshere Gray. And as crazy as this may sound, there might have been a love affair. No wonder no legal action has been taken against him, even though receipts of him touching Bryshere before he was even legal have been going around for years. In fact, Bryshere isn't the only victim. Just recently, Will was slapped with an SA lawsuit by his violinist, who claims Will tried to make a move on him. Bryshere is now on OF making gay videos with other men for some money. Word is, he learned how to do all that from getting his cheeks slapped by these industry men. There's something clearly disturbing going on in Will's camp, and until someone stops him, the victim-making machine will continue. In fact, even before Bryshere came into the picture, Will had already been slammed with a lot of allegations, specifically him allegedly forcing straight men to do things with him that they didn't want to do. The first allegation came in 2012 when Star Magazine put out a story alleging Will had a gay relationship with Duane Martin. They said this supposed gay affair was the reason his and Jada's marriage was falling apart. However, Duane's wife, Tisha, actually came out and dismissed the rumors, saying her husband was straight and committed to their family. But guess what? Fast forward to 2023, Will's personal assistant Bilal went on Tasha K and gave us freaky details of the time he supposedly caught Duane wrecking the hell out of Will in Duane's dressing room. You cannot make this up.
Open the door to Duane's dressing room, and that's when I see Duane and having anal sex with Will.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Duane was standing up, killing him. Murder.
Okay.
What did you do?
Oh, but this was just the beginning. Actress Alexis Arquette made a now-deleted Facebook post accusing Will Smith of cheating on his wife, Cherie Zampino, with his sugar daddy, Benny Medina. Alexis claimed Cherie walked in on Will playing bottom once again for Zaddy Benny. She said, "When Jada comes out as gay and her beard husband admits his first marriage ended when she walked into him, servicing his sugar daddy, Benny Medina, then I will listen to them." Mind you, Benny Medina is a music executive and longtime friend who helped Will, who has been credited a lot of times for helping Will kickstart his career. So if these allegations are true, then it's safe to say Will probably learned how to take advantage of these men in the industry from Benny. If he went through it, everyone also has to go through it. Like Bryshere. Girl, in fact, the popular YouTuber Trisha Paytas also slammed Will for apparently forcing himself on male dancers in Hollywood. From the looks of it, some of these male dancers are her friends, and they came back to spill the tea to her about how Will allegedly tries to force them into having an affair with them. She made these accusations while defending her best friend at the time, Shane Dawson, who was getting canceled. Jada came out to speak against him, encouraging people to keep slamming him for his weird behavior. But Trisha was somehow upset about this and decided to clap back at Jada. She said, and I quote, "How about worry about your daughter being in bed at 13 with her 20-year-old boyfriend? How about you worry about your cheating husband sleeping with one of my male dancers when they didn't want to?" People were not here for Trisha doing this at all, especially since she was doing it to defend someone who was clearly in the wrong. However, it still added to the long list of allegations that Will was forcing people into gay relationships they didn't want any parts of. But here's where things get crazy, though. The rumors about Bryshere Gray came again, and this time, there are even more receipts than when the news first broke. So how exactly did Bryshere get in Will's hands? Well, it all started when Bryshere's former manager, Charlie Mack, linked him up with Will and Diddy for a supposed mentorship program. Apparently, Bryshere's mother, Andrea, was well aware that this so-called mentorship was going to involve a lot more than just learning about the industry, but she allowed it to happen anyway because she was supposedly getting paid. She essentially traded her son. So while Bryshere genuinely believed two of the most powerful men in the game were investing in his future, they had a completely different agenda in mind, and career development had nothing to do with it.
And Charlie Mack. So Charlie was with me every step of the way. First out the limo. So Charlie has been with me, 30 years coming up in the business. So, he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love. And all he has to do is add discipline, and he's going to be all right.
It's like Uncle Will, who is best to give you advice? And it's Will Smith, and I'm getting so much good advice. I got my first acting role, Empire, and it's changing my life. And it's like I'm listening from the greatest, and it's like making me well prepared to work with Taraji.
But here's where it gets crazy. Allegedly, while all this was happening, they both started having feelings for each other, and Bryshere genuinely thought that Will was going to be there for him. But Will was already married to Jada, and you know how that marriage is. So there is no way in hell this could have worked, and just like clockwork, the moment Bryshere's time with Will came to an end, so did his career. In 2020, he was arrested after his wife accused him of strangulation. She was allegedly attacked so badly that she fled to a nearby gas station, where two police officers found her and stepped in. Then in 2022, he was arrested again for another domestic violence incident, this time involving a woman he was seeing at the time.
Gray's wife calling 911 after escaping him at a Goodyear QT, claiming Gray hundreds of times strangled her and threatened her with a knife.
But the story was far from over. Will's former best friend and assistant Bilal stepped forward and accused Will of not only being gay, but also of allegedly SAing Bryshere. He even claimed Will personally confessed to him what he had done.
Bryshere Gray. So long story short, when I'm in Chicago, this guy's acting erratic. Crazy. He's getting stopped by the cops. There's male prostitutes involved. There's mental illness involved, there's use involved, and I'm really trying to see what happened to this guy. And one day he said, "You know what happened. You know that Will R-worded me," or however y'all kind of say it on YouTube. "You know that Diddy and Charlie Mack made me suck his private part." Right? And I'm like, whoa. This was a full admittance. And he's going, and I'm like, I didn't know anything. He's in the corner, balled up, snot. So much sweating in pain that blood is coming from his nose, right? And this is me and him in a conversation. And he was like, please don't tell him. Please don't tell him. Will admitted to me that he had with Bryshere Gray, but it was consensual, right? So I'm like, okay, so now it's starting to make sense because I would have never believed that the way this guy's acting, something had to happen. So now, Will told me, and this is going to be in paperwork and everything, right? So when Will told me that he did have sexual intercourse with Bryshere, he said Bryshere did ask him to stop. Will said he completed the act, then stopped. Right then and there, when a person say stop, that means stop. Period. So I do believe that Will called it Bryshere Gray. Charlie Mack and Will gets a lawyer for Bryshere, and they try to get me under NDA. I tell Will, I'm not signing. I don't even have an NDA with you. How am I getting an NDA with him? You understand what I'm saying? So I hire a lawyer, right? Mm-hmm. When I hire the lawyer, he comes back and say, listen, this is the best I can do. He said, I'm going to have y'all do a mutual NDA, meaning that Bryshere can't tell people that you know that Will and Diddy now, and I want to say the R word, but I know we're on YouTube. Then you can't say nothing about him. So I said, okay, well, as long as he stopped telling people that I know what Will and Diddy did to him. You understand what I'm saying? Period. That was the problem. So there's legal paperwork, and it's all going to be, and you got to follow this case. You hold them down because he was like, Charlie Mack is not going to be able to be there because him and Charlie had something else going on. I arrived in Chicago for Empire. It's a damn mess. It's no other way to put it. This dude is going crazy, right? He's out there allegedly with male prostitutes. He's pissing in the trailer. He's acting psychotic, right?
The same thing he's doing now.
Beyond that. But this is why a show is going on. I pulled him to the side. I said, listen, I'm here to help you and so forth and so on. So he was like, all right, I feel that. He said, everybody on the set know you. Everybody seem like they love you. Okay. I want to love you because everybody else love you. I said, if that's what you want to do, then do it. But he kept acting up. And then one day I said, what the F is wrong with you? And he was like, you know. He said, you know, Will, me, you know, Diddy made me suck it. You know what's going on. You know, Charlie made me suck. And I said, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. So he crying, no blood is coming from his nose. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I'm like, yo.
And for Bryshere, this turned into an emotional attachment. And it's because he was very young at the time, had severe daddy issues, and his mother was up to no good. Jaguar Wright also came forward and alleged that right after Cassie filed her lawsuit, Bryshere had been in conversations with lawyers about filing his own suit against Will and Diddy. But his life was allegedly threatened before anything could move forward.
If he needs prayer, I don't even know what's going on.
I'm trying to slap him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on.
It sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent. And they fucking and she let Charlie tune that boy up on coke, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. Mm. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a Philly whore. You're a whore. You're a bigger whore than they're making your son out to be. That's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all. I'm sorry. The Bryshere conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Bilal and I asked Bilal to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was his look.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Nobody
Definitely.
care about these kids. Don't nobody care about these kids.
As for the $50 million lawsuit people believe Bryshere was building, it was first hinted at through a blind item that read, "I suspect the soon-to-step-forward male victim of SA by this A-list mogul will not be the last man to do so, Sean Diddy Combs." And to make matters even worse, it looks like Will didn't just end things with Bryshere. You see, right when all this stuff with Bryshere was coming out, he got slapped with a lawsuit by violinist Brian King Joseph for SA. Joseph filed the suit following his involvement in Will's Based on a True Story 2025 tour. The suit alleges that Will hired Joseph in November 2024 to perform at a show in San Diego and was subsequently invited to join his 2025 tour and play on his upcoming album. As their relationship grew, Will reportedly told Joseph that they had a special connection that I don't have with anyone else. The same thing he told Bryshere. But unlike Bryshere, Joseph did not fall for it. The central event of the lawsuit took place during the tour's Las Vegas stop in March 2025. On or around March 20th, Joseph said he returned to his hotel room around 11 p.m. to find that someone appeared to have unlawfully entered while he was gone. According to hotel security, there were no signs of forced entry, and only people who were part of Will's management team had access to the room while he was gone. The suit alleges someone had entered Joseph's hotel room and left wipes, a beer bottle, a backpack, a bottle of HIV medication, and hospital discharge paperwork with another person's name, along with a note that read, "Brian, I'll be back no later than 5:30, just us, Stone F." Joseph said he feared the person who left the note intended to return to sleep with him. But get this. After Joseph reported the apparent intrusion to hotel security, Will's representatives and police, a representative for Will blamed him for the incident and said he was being terminated, reportedly saying, "Everyone is telling me that what happened to you is a lie. Nothing happened, and you made the whole thing up." There was no effort to verify Joseph's safety concerns, and after he was fired, another violinist was hired, even though Joseph was told the tour was moving in a different direction. As usual, people had their thoughts like this person who said, "It's sad how they're using their money, power, and fame to lure young artists in to take advantage of them. Hollyweird has been doing that to people since the beginning, but we're all responsible for our own actions. Wrong is wrong." Another person said,